Welcome to the Web Hosting Cat Podcast, brought to you by webhostingcat.com. Here's your host, Michael James.
Welcome to the show. For those of you who want to create an e-commerce website or need to accept online payments, one of the first hurdles you need to get through is setting up a merchant account and payment gateway. On this edition of the podcast, we have an expert in setting up online payment processing, especially for high-risk websites. She's the owner of DirectPayNet. Maria Sparagas is my guest. Okay, for any of you out there that are creating a website or a blog and you're thinking about either doing some e-commerce work or accepting payments online, my guest will be a big help to you. Her company, DirectPayNet, is involved in accepting payments and online merchant processing. I'm very pleased to have as my guest Maria Sparagas. Maria, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's start off with a little bit about your background and how you got involved in online payment processing and how your company, DirectPayNet, can help website users.
Sure. So I've been in the payment space for 10 years. How I started in this payment space, I was actually one of the first employees at MindGeek, which is the world's biggest adult entertainment network right now. So back in the day, we were just a few people getting started in the adult space. So my project was really payments. So I helped them develop a payment strategy and kind of went through all the hurdles of understanding why we couldn't get payments providers and integrating gateways and just basically navigating that whole space. So I did that for about 3 years. I moved on from there and started DirectPayNet just because I realized there was an opportunity for me to help other merchants that are in spaces, not necessarily adult, but anything high risk. So digital downloads, diet offers, anything in that realm. So essentially, I help merchants that have a hard time finding payment solutions, find solutions either domestically here in the U.S. or offshore. And sometimes it's not even about that it's difficult to find the solution, it's finding the right solution, the right partner. So a lot of merchants seek me out specifically because I can give them tips on conversions, tips on their order pages, what's working, how we can reduce their decline ratios, get better approvals, and so forth. So DirectPayNet works with merchants not only in terms of getting a solution, but also getting them to the next level and ensuring their risk figures are in check and ensuring that once they get those accounts, they don't get shut down.
Maria, what do new website owners absolutely need to know if they want to start an e-commerce site or accept online payment processing?
Well, there is, the number one thing that I tell merchants as soon as they're starting is that first you should look for your solution before you look for your CRM and your technology, because your solution to finding a merchant account is a lot harder than finding technology providers to support that specific solution. So what happens is a lot of times merchants get started, they choose a CRM, they choose all this technology, and then they find a payment solution, but none of it is integrated. They've spent so much money, so then they're kind of trying to work backwards, which doesn't make much sense. So it's always when you're getting started in e-commerce, your best bet is find a solution for your payments and then work backwards for your CRM, for your gateway, and so forth.
Now, we're in touch with a lot of WordPress website users. I'm just curious, is there a certain website platform that does better as far as monetization or payment processing?
Well, I think the platform is it's agnostic. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
And as long as your design is good and it converts. For what I think would help is a lot of merchants getting started use hosted payment pages. I probably would say, if you have a little bit of money to invest in designing your own page and making sure it's on your URL versus diverting the customer somewhere else, you're probably much better off. But it takes a little bit of money. You need your SSL certificate. You need to make sure your page is encrypted and so forth. But I think it's a worthwhile investment because it typically yields higher conversions for customers.
That's excellent. Are there any other tips you can give to our audience as far as regarding their payment processing that can help them increase their sales?
Yes, I have a few. I have a few good ones, and I invite people to give me a call or message me if they need more tips. But a few quick tips is first, if depending on where your volume is, but try to find a local solution. So for example, if you have a lot of European traffic and you want to monetize it, you're always going to convert better with a local European bank versus a bank in the US. A bank in the US is not going to convert your European. Also try to have to charge customers in their native currency. So again, if it's euros, if it's GBPs, try to, even if your bank converts it to US dollars after, you're better off charging in that respect. I mean, there's so many tips. I'm trying to think of a few, but there's I think in terms of traffic and your order page, like I said, it's really important to try to host your own instead of get that outsourced.
Okay. Maria, what's your opinion on the future of digital currencies like Bitcoin?
Well, that's a favorite topic of mine. So I've been a big proponent and a big believer that things are going to change in the monetary system. So my personal opinion is that we're going to see a lot of changes in the payment space, due more to blockchain than to Bitcoin, the technology that helps Bitcoin be what it does, be what it is. So I think we should look out for a lot of innovations in the payment space with blockchain. Blockchain allows people basically to transact immediately versus, for example, a credit card that has a 3-day settlement period, up to 3 days. So I think that because of the world moving in the digitalized fashion as it is, people want their money right away. They don't want to wait 3 days.
Exactly.
So as the need and people realize how powerful this technology is, I think in the next 3 to 5 years we're going to see some huge changes there.
Okay. Maria, tell us about the process with your company, Direct PayNet. If somebody's interested and they want some help, what's the process they go through? What is it like?
Well, I mean, our best solution is just to send us an email, sales@directpaynet.com. Just explain a little bit what you're looking for. We have a pre-application process that's no obligation to the merchant, so if they just want to kind of see if a solution would fit, they just contact us through our sales email address. They can go to our website. I have a personal page as well, mariasparagus.com, and that actually just tells you a little bit about my skills and so forth. But Direct PayNet, we have a few people on board that can help as well.
That's directpaynet.com?
Yeah, directpaynet.com, exactly. Okay. So they can go to the website or send us an email, give us a quick version of what they're looking for, and we always follow up with phone calls and try to explain what our service can do and how we can benefit the merchants.
Mm-hmm. Approximately how long would the process take from somebody contacting you to getting them all set up? That's
one of my favorite questions because that always depends on the merchant and how quickly they get things done.
Okay.
But if things work at a very nice pace where, for example, my requests for changes or documentation is done within 1 to 2 days, typically a domestic U.S. account would take about 2 weeks.
Okay, sounds good. And again, for those interested, go to directpaynet.com. And we've been talking with Maria Sparagus. Maria, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And my thanks again to Maria for joining us on the program. That'll do it for this edition of the podcast. For more information on setting up online payment processing, visit directpaynet.com. And for more info on e-commerce hosting, visit us at webhostingcat.com. Until next time, this is Michael James wishing you all the best with your website endeavors. Thanks for listening and take care.
You've been listening to the Web Hosting Cat Podcast, sponsored by webhostingcat.com. The preceding program is copyrighted 2016 by Tux Cat Media.